Hello, Kayakus here, and welcome to another Mendacium Devlog. I did a lot of different things this time, apart from doing art for the rooms, which is never going to be finished it seems. I'm a simple man, I do 1 or 2 rooms and then I start vomiting from all of the grass and stones, so I have to start doing something else, I'm sorry. I started with something I spent a lot more time on than I expected, and that's the Watchtower. Like the little house that you can enter, which I made in the older devlogs, I wanted to make a tall watchtower where a guy can watch over the land and warn the villagers of potential dangers. So this tower consists of 3 parts: exterior of the tower and its design, interior and how the player goes up, and the actual lookout part on the top. So I started sketching some designs and I ultimately decided to go with this one over here. Then I drew the entrance part and added it to the world. I wasn't really happy with this, but I hope that my opinion is somehow going to change when I do the interior. So the first part is kinda done. Then I moved on to the interior. When designing, I made the tower quite wide so that there is more space for the interior, but then I realized that I have no idea how to fill up this space, and I was getting triggered that the silhouette looks kinda like a bottle. So I wasn't happy with the interior and I wasn't hyped about the exterior either. So what did I do? Scrapped everything and back to square one, I guess. This time I was thinking how to make the interior smaller, so I came up with this design, which actually looks more like a watchtower than the previous version. So I'm happy for now. Then I drew the entrance for the second time, added it to the game, and it actually looks good enough. I'm still happy. Then I moved on to the interior again. I quickly realized that now I have no place for anything anymore, and the question is, how does the player go upwards? So as a good game developer as I am, I went with the solution to just ignore the problem for now and move on to the more interesting part, which is the actual upper part of the tower. I drew the whole part, separated the parts, imported it in Unity, and made the scene around it. This actually turned out great from the first try. I even added a big horn on the left so that the guy can blow it when he spots something dangerous approaching. The villagers would hear the sound, seal the gates, and go into hiding. With that part done, I had to go back to the interior and enable the player to actually climb somehow. I was trying to put the platforms around, but it just felt too claustrophobic, so I decided to push it, of course, and add a little elevator over there. That seemed to have solved the problem, so I'm happy. So now there are 3 separate scenes just for this one tower: exterior, interior, and the top part. While I was trying out these rooms, I realized that Kayakus basically enters the tower by thinking about it, since there is no enter animation. So this was a good opportunity to add some more animations, since supposedly this wasn't enough. So I spent like 3 hours to draw the backpack from another view, which then turned out to look 100 times better than the actual one that he's wearing. But it didn't matter, since the new backpack is only visible for like half a second, which then really makes me think about all of the other actually useful things that I could have done in these 3 hours. Then I made this cute idle animation that triggers when the player does nothing for 10 seconds. Kayakus takes the cube and sits on it because he wants to rest a little bit. This makes the cube like one of those portable chairs that you can carry with you, but for some reason I like it, so it will stay for now. Implementing this gave me some interesting results, like Kayakus skating on the box, but it turned out good in the end. Then I made the map a little bit transparent and made another animation for the character, kinda reading the map. If you move while the map is open, the character is going to walk slower as well. This all kinda begs the question, why does he look at the map when he's blind? But hey, it looks cool, and I will hopefully find a way to explain it in the future. Maybe he feels the map or something, I don't know. Write in the comment below if you have any ideas. Then I went back to the tower, and since like 100% of the players will surely try to jump off of the tower, I connected the entrance room to this part, so now it actually seems like the rooms are connected. And this works on both sides of the tower, so now you are free to jump off of the tower as much as you want, but make sure that you are in the game and not in real life. I also added this land animation, which triggers when the player falls down from a really high point. This I also connected to the ground particles that I implemented in the last devlog. Go check it out if you're interested. So now falling down on grass will spawn grass particles. And since we are talking about particles, I also added some more polish to the hook and dash particles. It's really hard to see the difference, but trust me, it looks better. And I added this more impactful particles when the cube damages the enemies. Now it actually feels like the cube is going through them and feels more satisfying and brutal, which is good. All of this is possible because of the Unity's particle system, of course. To get this fiery smooth look, I stretch the particles in the renderer and add some noise to it. The biggest hack ever is to actually use this section over here called limit velocity over time, set dampen to 1, and make a curve that starts with the maximum particle speed and then slowly goes down to 0. This will in fact make the particles slow down over time, which makes them really smooth in my opinion. Then I applied the same technique and made this new safe particle, which looks more impactful and overall satisfying. The interesting thing is that 90% of particles in my games are made by using only 3 simple sprites. The glow, which is basically done by taking a soft brush in Photoshop and skillfully clicking in the center of the screen. The shockwave, which is made by taking a soft eraser and skillfully clicking over a circle. And this glowing circle particle. In like every particle that I make, the shockwave gets bigger or smaller with a short lifetime of like 0.3 seconds. Glow does the same thing as the shockwave but lives longer, and the glow particles expand in a circle or get pulled inwards when setting the negative speed. Also playing with the stretch and the noise, I get different results that can be used for many different things. This is just a brief overview of how I do particles. Leave a comment below if you want me to make a video that focuses on smooth particles in the future. There is also another game that uses this way of making particles, and that's Ascent, my puzzle platformer single-player / co-op adventure game about 2 twin brothers fighting through afterlife. You already know what to do, so go slap that wishlist button if you are interested and get notified for the launch discount. Last but not least, I reworked the map system and changed the map to accurately represent the extended map in the game. I also figured out how to make this custom resizable frames, which I then used to also beautify the inventory and the other UI panels a little bit since they kinda looked like garbage. I will not focus on this and the map redesign here since it's really complicated and will have its own video in the future. Maybe like Devlog 5.5, I don't know, where I will explain in detail how to set up a Metroidvania like map like this one, so leave a like if you want to see that. But that's it from me, I'm done, and until next time.